to my YouTube variety channel, Miss Linda C. Jones. I know that there's a bit of a glare on our faces on this picture, but I wanted to share some of my favorite gig pictures with you, and then I'll get into a little bit about the song, my cover recording of Cabaret, one of my favorite songs. So, in some of my many concerts, this is a picture of myself and some extraordinary musicians throughout the city of New Orleans and beyond. And we were all doing a concert in my home parish, and we're actually on the stage that I sang on when I was a little girl. I had orchestrated, planned, directed, etc., a series of concerts, and some of them I decided it would be a nice idea to help raise money for our parish food bank. And so we ended up having a dinner theater style musical production of 2 hours with an intermission. And we had a variety, a barrage of different musical styles. So we literally put on a show. I was able to orchestrate having us air on our local morning shows as well as interviews in the newspaper. And while I was the headliner of these acts entitled Miss Linda C. Jones and Then Some, I have to give out a mega shout out to the extraordinary, I mean, extraordinary musicians that I was blessed to be on stage with, and the extraordinary musicians that I still am blessed to work with. I am in the middle with 24 Dozen Roses that was presented to me by our pastor at the end of the concert, and all the musicians were able to be paid as well as raise a great deal of money for our church food bank that does great work. So, just to go through the musicians, hopefully I don't miss anyone, but from right to left, Mr. Ace Mahler backing vocals, Mrs. Paula Miller backing vocals, Christopher Holmes, lead guitar, me, lead vocals, Mr. Eric Andrews, pianist, Mr. Owen Pascal, bass guitar, Mr. Louis Carrillo, drums, Father Ray Hemel, backing vocals, Mr. Tom Schisler on violin, and Mr. Pete Walbrett on the trumpet. And again, what an honor that I was able to assemble these extraordinary musicians that in their own right, these are all lead musicians in their own right. And the fact that they all so readily wanted to be a part of the Miss Linda C. Jones and Then Some production is such a blessing and such an honor, and I am so incredibly grateful. So, one of my favorite gig pictures, and just so blessed to have the honor of working with such amazing musicians. Okay, so the song entitled Cabaret is my cover version of one of my favorite performers, Miss Liza Minnelli. And so I'm singing the song, the theme song of the movie Cabaret. So with Cabaret, we have Liza Minnelli in a movie of which she won an Academy Award for. Liza and her mom are two of my favorite singers of all times. Liza Minnelli and Judy Garland, her mom. And so it was an absolute thrill to perform this song in the recording studio here in my hometown of New Orleans. So I'm singing on the recording. We have Mr. Vance Woolf on trumpet. We have Mrs. Lalie Montalto on piano, Mr. Skip Montalto, her husband, on drums, and Mrs. Ann Copeland on keyboard. So let me know what you think. I hope that you enjoy my cover of Cabaret, and a big shout out to every single solitary musician that I've ever worked with and all the amazing musicians that I am blessed to work with now. It is an absolute thrill and joy and blessing to be able to work with all of you. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being a part of the Miss Linda C. Jones YouTube variety channel. And if you haven't had an opportunity to subscribe yet, and you're just happening to happen upon my channel, please consider subscribing. Okay, thanks everybody. God bless. I'll have a link in the description of my cover of Cabaret. Bye for now.